Today I'm going to kind of start to go over how to attach the feet on, and then tomorrow I'm going to go in and show you guys how to kind of like bulk up through here, through like the tummy and the back, because right now we have our little potato shape, but we will need to go in and sculpt it a little bit. I'm going to put this to the side, and first I'm going to focus on the feet. So I kind of have these 4 little boots from yesterday. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to pinch them out so that I have a nice flat surface. And we talked about if you want to leave them smooth, you could leave them smooth. If you want to go ahead in and carve out little toes, you could do that too. So I just kind of rolled 3 of these down. And then just take my hand and smooth that under. And that's a really nice simple way to kind of start to form some little toes. Because they're not super detailed, they're just kind of suggested. But you do want to make sure you have almost like a little mini boot. And then we're going to flare the top out because that's where we're going to be connecting. If your clay is cracking a little bit, that is okay. We just want to make sure that we get them nice and flat. I think I'll do toes for all of them because I already have 2. Smooth, smooth, smooth. I'm actually really excited for when these all get turned in. I feel like we'll have like a little like stampede of these little Willliam sculptures. So I'm just flattening them out. If you feel like once you're starting to flatten them, you need to like smooth up a little bit, that's fine too. And I'm sure that your feet are all a little bit different in size, that's okay. I would take the 2 larger ones and use them as the back feet. And just make sure everything's nice and smooth because we are going to go in with the underglaze and do some of the small lotus patterns. So you will want a nice smooth painting surface. Even if you guys want to kind of tap the top out, you could do that too. But you noticed you will get a little bit of a divot in it rather than it being super flat. And you want it to be as flat as we can make it so that when we go ahead and slip and score it on, we're not gonna have any air pockets trapped in there. So I'm gonna look at my feet and I think I'm gonna move this one back here. Scooch them back. And I'm going to take a look at my body, how it's going to start to rest on there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to peel away a little bit of where it meets the opposite leg. So that they could fit underneath nice and neat. And we'll go ahead and we'll smooth up with some more clay later. And you could decide if you want to keep them, you know, 1 foot in front of the other. We're gonna go ahead in and we're gonna smooth these in and add like a little bit of a hip joint So they're not gonna just be like rested on here. They're actually going to be formally attached. And I think I'm gonna do mine. All right, I think I'm gonna do mine there, and then I'll start building the head. Thinking about what way I want to go. Maybe I'll go this way. Kind of look at the images and think which way you want to face. I think that's gonna work best for me. All right, so what you want to do now is you want to go in and you want to make some little marks where you want to attach these feet. And we're gonna build like a neck off of this and really smooth these in nice. So it looks a little silly right now because it's a potato with boots. So I'm gonna line it up where I want it, and I'm just gonna take a tool and roughly make some little marks approximately where this lines up. So that's an approximate. And I'm gonna have something like that. I'm then gonna go in and I'm going to score all the feet. And this is super important because we want to get a nice strong bond. I'm gonna move these two back and this one. And being that I have these little markers on here now, I know where I'm going to attach the feet. We're gonna probably need to alter them a little bit later on, but that's okay. So you're gonna wanna use your slip. And now I'm gonna go ahead in and attach it right where I made that little score mark. And I'm gonna wanna take a look at it. I might need to slide it back, slide it forward. I think that'll work. All right. Once I get it attached, I'm then gonna go in and I'm gonna use that little bit of extra clay and I'm gonna smooth it in. All right. Next, I want to take a little extra clay. Go a little coil. And I'm going to just kind of wrap this over the foot and under the belly here. And then I'm going to smooth it in both directions. But you really want this to be nice and seamless. I'm gonna add a little too much clay there. And you don't want to really get it too much on the leg, just where it's meeting and then the belly. And take your time smoothing. If you don't get all the legs on today, that's okay. We'll work on it tomorrow. And there I go, I have my first little leg on there. And we just want to make sure there's no cracking, anything like that. And we could smooth it up later too. I'm gonna try to like tap it a little bit too in like more of an elongated shape. That might help. And it's gonna be kind of strange because you're gonna have to attach these parallel to each other, which is sometimes tricky, but I think we'll be okay. And if you find your legs are a little too tall, that's okay. We could go in and tap them into place. So I'm gonna attach this one on. Really make sure it's compressed in. And even once your legs are like smoothed on, you could really manipulate them. And we're also gonna go over sculpting the body tomorrow, because like I said, we kind of have a potato with some boots now. We'll bulk up the belly a little bit and start on the neck. And then you could see here the difference between that side and this side, how I started kind of building this a little bit thicker through here. We're gonna do the exact same thing. So you could see that's a little thicker, and then that's kind of just like a skinny leg. And I'm just gonna use a little clay, a little extra. And I'm really just smoothing this into the belly, not so much the leg, so I'm kind of carrying it over so it blends in. Nice and seamless. And just smooth it. So you'll notice this is kind of facing almost back like that. I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna tap it into place how I want it to be. Then go in and adjust the legs if I need to. I think that went fine though. And that's gonna be how it's gonna stand so far. So you could really manipulate it. We're gonna manipulate it more as we sculpt. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the back legs. Alright. So. Alright, I think I'll put one there. And they'll all be a little different. I know that my one from my morning class is definitely a little different than this one, so. Make sure you really compress it on there. And then for this leg, we want to build up the tummy and the back here. So just make sure it's smoothed in the best you can. If it's not perfect, that's okay, because we're gonna go ahead and overlap them. Right. So I'm gonna go in now over here with a thicker coil. And I'm gonna kind of take it from the belly. Let me make it a little bit thinner. From where the other belly one lines up, all the way to the back. So I kind of have a little shape like that going on. And I'm just gonna smooth it. Mostly in the direction of the body towards. And this is gonna bulk up the back a little bit and also get a nice little hip joint. Then I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna kind of smooth it. Tap it into place and then just smooth it on. And if you feel uncomfortable with using such a big coil, you could use a smaller coil. But you wanna make sure everything's nice and blended. And I'm gonna just carry this over all the way till the back and smooth that in. So now we're getting more of like a shape to the body. And when we do the same thing on the other side, it'll build the correct proportions. Just make sure that you are smoothing it in really, really well. And underneath, you want to make sure you smooth all that in. So you don't want to see any fingerprints, anything like that. And you guys can burnish these before you paint them if you would like to, or if you feel that it's smooth enough, that's fine too. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to manipulate this, tap it into place a little bit more. And you could see already this side, and then more build up on that side. So I got my last little leg to attach. And then tomorrow we'll really go in like sculpting up the body and starting the neck. Make sure you score the body. And then we'll attach that on our very last leg. And you could really, take a look, see where it's gonna fall on your form. Maybe you wanna move it around a little bit, figure out where it's gonna go. That looks pretty good. Move it out even a little bit more. And then we're just gonna smooth our last one in. And as these rest up, the flare out section definitely gets a little bit dry. So I just go in and add a little bit of extra soft clay. And I'm gonna move this a little bit. I'm just gonna tap it down now so I got all my legs on. So now what I'm pretty much gonna do is just take some little pieces of clay and start adding in the hip and belly on the other side. And I'm really pressing it on in there. And depending on what shape your potato-esque form was, definitely determines the length of the body. Now, he is a little bit more elongated than the one I have right here. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start this section here just to kind of pull the clay forward slowly. Because I'm going to start to make my neck here anyway. I'm kind of going like between the feet and bringing it up. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm also gonna go in along the sides and I'm gonna take some of this clay and really elongate this a little bit more too. Just because I could stretch it out. And focus on like building up a little bit more of a tummy. And it's okay to stretch these and just tap them back. And you could see how I elongated it a little bit. So you could always tap it back into place if you need to change the body shape a little bit. But this is the basics of just attaching on the little feet. Tomorrow we're gonna go in, we're gonna extend the body going forward, probably move the feet a little bit as we go, and we will start on the head next week. So that's kind of where we're at. So you guys should have something that looks like this.